In this video, we're going to walk through how to create a case report inside of Monolith. To get started, I'm going to click into one of my cases. And once we're inside the case, next thing we're going to do is click the Reports tab up here at the top. And from here, we're going to click Add New Case Report, this button here at the left. Next, it's going to ask us for a report name and a little description. And then we're going to click Start Report. And this is going to add it to our list of reports here inside the case. So the next thing we're going to do is decide what data we want to include in our report when we export it. So to do that, we're going to click into the report we just created. And this is going to open up a bunch of options where we can pick and choose what we want to include, what we might want to leave out for this particular report. So starting at the top, if we click into each of these little sections where you can see there's a little caret arrow here, this is going to give you some options for each of those particular sections. So for example, in report options, we have header footer. If we want to include a cover page, we can do that. If we want to add our logo, we have an option for that here. Next, we can add a table of contents, a case summary. So if we want, my information, client information, the case description, the summary report, and the evidence list, we can include all of those items here. Go ahead and uncheck one of these just to keep my report a little bit shorter. Next, we have analysis. So this section is basically an area where you can write your own analysis inside of Monolith, and it will export it as part of this report for you. So we'll go into that a little bit more momentarily. Next, we have evidence. So if we open this up here at the top, it's going to give us a list of evidence data that we can choose to include or not include. All of this is pretty important, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it for this particular report. And if we want to sort the evidence differently than how it's default, which is by intake date, we have a couple of different options here, so you can sort it whichever way you prefer. So next, we need to select evidence items to go into our report. So I'm going to click the Select Evidence button. This is going to open up a pop-up with all of the evidence items associated to this case. Let's say I want to include the cell phone and this desktop. And then once we've chosen the evidence items we want included, we can click Select Evidence. And what that's going to do is when we export and generate this report, it's going to include all of this information for these evidence items. So a pretty quick way to get that into your report, which is pretty handy. Next, we have a task summary. So if you're using Monolith's built-in tasks feature, you can include a summary of that in your report as well. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that. Next, we have case notes. So if you've taken case notes inside of Monolith, you can attach those to the report as well. I'm just going to go ahead and select a couple of case notes I have here. Next, we have people. So if you have contacts associated to your case, you can select them here. Go ahead and include that person. And that will include whatever information we have related to the contact in the case in your report. And then last thing here we have is the activity log. So this is just a big list of all the activities on this particular case inside of Monolith. I'm going to uncheck that now just to keep this report a little bit shorter. So once we're happy with the selection of data that we want here, the next thing we're going to do is come to the report summary page here in the top left corner. And what this does is it opens up our note editor. So what you can do is you can type in your report summary here. You don't have to do that like in Word and then piece it together with your report. This will just include it in the export as soon as you have it all added in here. So I'm just going to add a little summary here. And we do have the slash commands like we do for notes, so you can make this nice and formatted how you'd like to. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for now. So once we're happy with our report summary, we can come over into the Analysis tab. And same thing, this is going to open up our basically note editor, but this is specifically for your analysis that we selected here. So anything you type here is going to appear in the report where we have that analysis section. So you can include your analysis, you can add timestamps, whatever else you need to add here. And again, this is just to kind of streamline your workflow a little bit, so you don't have to do all of this in a separate program and then try to, staple it into your report. So once we're happy with the analysis, next thing we can do is click Create Report. And we're going to click Create Report here. And you can see Monolith has generated it based on everything I've added and selected. And now we can click Download. And what this is going to do is create a Word document version of this for us, which is pretty cool because we can make any additional edits we need to in the Word doc. So here is my Word doc. So you can see this is the cover page that we generated, the table of contents, the summary information we added. You can see this is my report summary that I typed in the word processing editor. Down here you can see a list of the evidence. Here is my analysis with my timestamps that I added. And then we have all of our evidence with chain of custody. And really everything that we asked it to include is now nicely laid out for us. It's a good head start for your report. And then any fine-tuning or tweaking you need to do, you can do that in this Word doc. And yeah, that's pretty much how the case reports work. Thanks for watching.